Hey, Jason, the leads that have slipped away lately, how do you characterize those, and what does the team do to kind of get them out of the game going forward here?
Yeah, I think it's a balance for us of being too passive when we have the lead, and also then making sure that we're covering the inside of the net, not giving free chances. I think that usually it's one rush and then it kind of leads you to make it a one goal game, and then we're maybe sitting back a little too much. But it's something that all teams go through. If you look at the teams that are even ahead of us in the standings, they're going through similar things. I think it's just part of the learning curve of a year is getting comfortable in those situations. And we have been for the most part this year. And just because we've had a few get away from us here, I think that doesn't change our mindset too much.
What are your thoughts on the 3 and 4 coming up now, Jason? Of course, it's one with the Wings and 2 with the Devils. Both teams not in the playoff picture, but how important is this to, I know it is important, but speak to the importance of going into the break here with a few wins under the belt against teams that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, we want to be an elite team, and elite teams are consistent. And heading into the break here, we'd like to have a good finish to kind of send us into the break feeling good about our team and our game. I think we're excited to play 3 games in 4 nights. It's been a bit of a strange schedule for us, so to get a few games in a block, I think will be good in terms of momentum and chemistry and that kind of stuff. But it'll be a challenge. So fun as a player when you can look at a little block like this and get excited to play.
Thanks.
Next up, we'll go to Luke Fox, Sportsnet. Go ahead, Luke.
Hi, Jason. What would you say is the most surprising thing that you've learned from the group through basically the first half of the season here?
A surprising thing. Well, I don't know if I'm surprised, but I am impressed and hopeful that we can continue is we've been able to really identify the areas that we're slipping in and be mature about kind of approaching them and knowing we have to fix them. I think that that's allowed us to be consistent as a team. I think we've done we've had a much more mature approach to kind of our game. And even when we're winning games and we feel like, maybe we're not playing our best hockey, we've addressed it. And I think that's allowed us to have, longer stretches of being happy with our game. So I think there's been a big step maturity wise that way. I think some of our young leaders have really, found their voices and really taken control and are driving this team. And then we have, Johnny and the guys that have been consistent, Mo, just, continuing to do things. So I think we've really grown as a team that way.
Who's found their voice? Like who sticks out when you talk about young guys finding their voice?
Well, I think Austin, he's really transformed into a leader in this locker room, and his daily habits have always been exceptional. But I think he's having conversations with guys away from the group. He's having conversations at the right time in the dressing room, and he's also pushed us at times to be better. And I think he's just got a great mind for the game, and I think we're starting to see it now in the dressing room. I think he always got it one-on-one, but I think he's got a great pulse, and he also knows when maybe it just wasn't our night and you have to move on quickly. So it's good to have a fresh take on things sometimes, and he's been able to give that. So he's been great.
Thanks.
Next up, we'll go to Mark Masters, TSN. Go ahead, Mark.
Jason, where do you feel your line's at right now?
Well, obviously, we haven't been used as much because, coach hasn't felt like putting us on the ice has been helping as much as we should. So I think it's been a rough 10-game stretch for us in terms of carrying play. But I also, I know that when we're at our best, the team needs us and we can, kind of control play against other fourth lines. So I think we're smart enough guys to know that we're not happy with where we're at in the last 10-game segment. But the good news is there's lots of hockey left to be played, and we know how to get back to it. So the team's still, we're winning games. That's the most important thing. But obviously, heading into the second half of the year, and as we start playing more hockey, all the good teams play 4 lines, and we have to be reliable enough where, we're generating the same play that we were for the first 30 games. So, we'll find our game, and we'll get moving, and we'll make us a better club.
Sheldon explained after the game that he likes you batting leadoff in the shootout, gives Austin and William a chance to catch their breath. You've always been, skilled in the shootout. Do you like the leadoff role? Does it matter at all where you go in the shootout?
I'll go wherever he wants. If he thinks that leadoff's the right role for me, I'll go. If he wants me to be 20th, I'll go 20th. He's got a good pulse for what's going on, and it's my job to be ready when called upon.
What do you like about those situations, the shootout, the one-on-one situation?
I can't say I'm a huge fan of the shootout in general. You know, it's gone a little bit stale, but in terms of me as an athlete, I love the pressure of just getting a chance to step up there. You know, even if I've sat around for a little bit, I think it gives you confidence to know that you trust your instincts and trust your game, where you can go up and execute a move. So I think, you know, maybe scoring the shootout the other night can give me a little bit of confidence that, you know, the puck hasn't been gone in for me in the last little stretch, but little things like that, you know, show that it's in there. And, you know, you're never kind of going as good as you think you are, and you're never going as bad as you think you are. So I think little moments like that can help. And for me as a player, I just like the pressure of it.
And last one here, we'll go to Terry Cochin, Toronto Sun. Go ahead, Terry.
Hey, Jason, sorry, I asked you already about the leads and how they've slipped away, but you take the encouragement that in a lot of those games, you guys have come back to win or at least get a point. So these things aren't slipping away completely.
No, I agree with you, Terry. And I do think, you know, when I talked about the maturity of our club, I think that's probably an area too. It's easy to get down when you give up a lead. It's easy to feel like maybe things didn't go your way or you've lost momentum, but the group's been really resilient this year in terms of when things haven't gone the way we want them to go, just being able to flip the switch quick, whether it's, you know, with a practice day and moving forward, or whether it's, you know, collecting yourselves, heading into an overtime. I just think there's been a lot more, you know, of a mature approach just towards winning games. And some nights it's going to be clinical where you're dominating teams and everybody's happy and it looks good and everybody talks about how good we are. And other nights it's going to be a little bit ugly and you find a way to win and you still drag those points out and you're getting confidence from it. So I think that's been the biggest step for us, is the focus really seems to be on just winning hockey games. And when we're doing that, we're at our best.